Oh, this is going to be funny because I'm not really sure how I'm going to say this.
Well, why don't you practice?
No. Here we go. We're going to do it live. Okay, here we go. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the 30th episode of We Are All in the Same Boat. That's the new name. We have rebranded this podcast. Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the new podcast. New year.
Oh, yeah.
New podcast. And today, I'm your host.
New year, new podcast.
Luke Roxwold. And
I
gotta say, I gotta say that now because, you know, it's not the Luke Roxwold podcast, so nobody knows who I am. So I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I'm here with Michael.
Hey, what's up?
Shayne.
Currently living in Snowmageddon 2018.
The bomb
We're over here on the
cyclone.
East Coast, and it's like nothing we've ever seen before.
That's right. And with Nic.
I have a story about that.
Wait, you got to say something, Nic, so that they know what your voice is.
Oh man, no, they're gonna exit out by that point.
You're like this obnoxious guy just clapping into
You
the
have to make
microphone.
this clear.
They're already gone, dude. I'm sorry. This was a huge mistake.
We've had a Nic on this podcast before, but this is a different Nic.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
new
this is a
Nic.
different Nic from the previous podcast. If you've listened to him, if you have listened to him, you're awesome because you've been supporting us.
you are.
Speaking of supporting us, you can check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud, and not really YouTube because I'm lazy. I don't feel like putting these episodes on YouTube just yet. But everybody likes money, right? We all like money. But you don't have to give us any money. Instead of giving us money, you can just go to iTunes and review our podcast and give us 5 stars.
I thought you were going to say everybody likes money.
thought you had,
so
like-
if you subscribe to our iTunes, we will give you money.
No.
You will get 1 Bitcoin if you join this
It's
podcast.
worth like 8 monies.
That's right. I'll give you
Just a little bit.
Roxwold pennies. They are invisible, and you just have to kind of imagine them. That's it.
Absolutely.
So thanks for listening, everybody. Here we go. Let's jump right into the topics. Welcome, everybody.
Oh, dang. I'm ready.
New year.
Welcome.
Yeah.
New year.
Hello. Yes.
New year, new
Happy
me.
New Year. Again.
What are we talking about today, though? I don't even know.
That's enough hellos for now. Let's jump
Way
into
to
the
keep it
topic.
Way to keep it natural.
Just to introduce my friend Nic, this is his first episode on the podcast. He's
my
a friend
first
of mine from
podcast.
school. Oh yeah, his first podcast ever. So, you know, nerves, we're gonna let those go and we're gonna just kind of roll with it. But basically, Nic posted on my Facebook, which you guys can do because we have a Twitter now. So you can post on our Facebook on Twitter. Just kidding.
What? Wait,
You can
what?
post on our Twitter. So, we have a Twitter now because
You
we
can Facebook
rebranded
on our
the-
Twitter.
Yeah, I realized I kind of messed that up when I said like
There's both.
you can do the same thing on our Twitter.
I understood
We need to-
you.
We need to start this
didn't.
podcast over.
It's a train wreck. This is like the start of the year.
We have
so
a
it's only
Facebook and we have a
myself
Twitter
in here.
page.
It's the
Yeah,
start of
you
a
can-
Logan
You can
Paul
post on both of
blog.
them if you want.
I kind
So
of
it won't
like
give you
no.
money.
I sort of had like a huge idea of a whole bunch of things that I wanted to do for the opening, and I'm just going off the rails.
You just forgot
trying to do
all of
them
them.
all at the random times.
Sorry, we're also kind of ruining it. So go ahead.
You know, it's fun, guys. It's
I
fine.
just
We have a Twitter
All
now.
right, go ahead.
So if you guys have thoughts on topics or ideas or things that you want us to talk about, or you have opinions about things we talked about, you can tweet at us now. And our Twitter is WAITSB podcast. So that's We're All in the Same Boat podcast. Okay? But it's the initials. So, you know, feel free to tweet at us. So the reason I brought that up is because Nic sent me a message on Facebook about something that's been in the news recently that everyone's been talking about. And he said, hey, let's do a podcast. He's never been on the podcast, but he's like, let's do a podcast episode on this thing. And I immediately was like, you know
do
what?
a podcast.
That's a good idea. And so I said, hey, Nic, you want to be on this episode of the podcast? So he's here. And the topic for today, until we kind of switch into something else, but like for the most part, it's this whole Logan Paul thing that's been going on.
Logan Paul did nothing wrong.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be a good conversation.
That's right.
Let's
Complete sarcasm
explain-
there. Complete
Oh, wait,
Let's
sarcasm.
explain to the people who don't know who Logan Paul is.
Yeah, let's explain the whole situation. Whoever knows
who
the
he
most.
is.
I know a lot about him, unfortunately. If you all want to sum
That
it
is
up.
very
Yeah, I was gonna
unfortunate,
say some
actually.
of us know quite a bit about YouTube, so this is gonna be an interesting conversation. But Nic, why don't you're new? Why don't you lead?
Give
I
a
am-
brief, unbiased factual opinion on who this man is.
Not
Factual
opinion, just the
opinion.
facts. Just the facts.
Just facts.
Tell us who he is and what he did.
I'll give you some factual opinion. No, Logan Paul. Logan Paul. He's the second most popular YouTuber on the planet, next to PewDiePie.
Has that been confirmed?
I believe so.
I mean, all you gotta do is just look at the subscriber numbers.
He
Yeah.
is the like right now.
If you combine his vlog channel and his actual channel, he is the second top YouTuber.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I actually didn't even know that. I knew he was like the
Yeah.
fastest growing YouTube channel right now. So he's
Absolutely.
gaining the most subscribers.
Absolutely.
Not anymore.
Which we should totally. Well, we should talk about that eventually. But Logan Paul, 22 years old. He's an actor. Attended Ohio University. Dropped out in 2014 so he could pursue, I think, acting full time in Los Angeles. I don't.
Yeah,
Because
he started out. Both him and his brother started using Vine when that application first came out.
yeah,
and
and
they
I
got really, really popular on it.
I actually never knew who Jake Paul was. All I did was I knew Logan Paul.
None
I knew
of
the
us
name.
want to know who Jake Paul is anymore.
That's very true.
I
But
remember, like,
We're so over it
life
now.
used to be so much easier when you didn't know them, really. Honestly.
yeah, my life was fine until I knew who Logan
Right.
Paul was. Nothing was added to my life once I figured out who he was. But anyway,
Yeah,
20.
because he was a Viner first, and then
was a
Vine
Viner for-
died, and all the Viners jumped to YouTube, and he was one
Yeah.
of them. And
Well,
Jake Paul
absolutely.
was
The ones
another
that were
one.
good.
It's called the Vine Invasion now, and now
Yeah, it is.
Logan Paul. Let's see. According to vidIQ, makes about $400,000 a month on YouTube vlogs.
That is insane.
Holy crap.
So-
man.
Social
That is
Blade.
insane.
Social Blade gives him a range around $90K to maybe $1 million per month.
That's
Insane.
So he's probably at this point, at least a multimillionaire.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we can assume he's making
there-
$6 million
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah, if
on
he doesn't
YouTube
have
videos.
if he
Well,
doesn't already have
that's not even including his
That
merch
daily
store.
vlog lifestyle.
Exactly.
His merch
Oh,
store is
gosh.
massive because here's the thing. Now, okay, so
Shayne in the
this is
background.
about
It's huge because of his 12-year-old fan base.
well, yeah, but that's okay. So
absolutely.
there's a
12-year-olds
lot of
with
Mom's
things.
credit,
There-
with
I-
mom's credit card.
12-year-olds where the money's at, man.
Let me
Like,
say
I
this.
know.
So
Trust me, I
these,
know.
So hold up.
I work
so with
with
these
them.
with Jake Paul and Logan Paul, okay? There's a lot of things that we're going to get into to criticize them because they're very easy to criticize. But they are really, really good at YouTube, and they are really good at what they're doing. Now it has. Hold up. Let me just say this before we rip them apart because, like I said, it's really easy to do that. So they do a daily vlog, 15 minutes every single day. They have hired editors so that they can throw out new vlogs every single day with very good content. Honestly, like I know it's a lot of it's cancerish, but they know how to get views and it's working. So
Yeah.
there's things to learn about them. Now the thing that they do is they take things too far, but it does get views. So it's like I don't approve of it, but it works. In
It
addition to
is-
that,
yeah.
they have their merchandise stores that they plug in every single video. So every video that gets them money already is a commercial. So they're getting free. It's really like business-wise,
The advertisement.
they're killing it. They
I mean,
really are.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I joined the Maverick crew and be a Maverick.
Be a maverick.
I'm pretty happy about
Link
it.
in bio. See, I even know the catchphrase because he says it in every single video. He really does, though. Every single video.
Even in this video, he said it a lot.
Did he say
he
Link?
said-
Did he say Maverick merch in this video?
He did.
Oh, we're talking about Logan Paul.
Well, we haven't introduced it yet, but so
Yeah.
we're trying to kind of get everyone a feel for who this person is because I mentioned it to a couple people at work today, and they're all like, "Who?" And it's because if you're not under 15 or me or and Nick,
So, by
or
the way,
Shayne,
a maverick is what Logan Paul calls his fan base.
Right.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
The low gang, as they are referred to
I
sometimes.
thought. Oh no, that's Jake Paul. Okay, never mind.
yeah.
So basically, to finish the summary of Logan Paul, I think I covered most things.
Heck.
But him and his brother became very famous after the Vine invasion. Like I said, second most popular YouTuber. 22 years old. He has over, I think, actually, I don't know if it's 200,000 or not 200,000.
Yeah, I'm
it's
pulling
2
it up
million
now.
followers on Twitter.
On
but-
YouTube, he has over 15 million subscribers and almost 3 billion views on just his vlog channel.
That's an accomplishment. That's pretty incredible. The guy has, millions and millions of dollars getting poured into his vlogs, his daily vlogs. He has millions of dollars getting poured to all of his social media.
Yeah, and looking at his Social Blade, which is a website used for kind of gauging where YouTube channels stand, he's gaining about 50,000 subscribers a day.
Yes.
Which is insane.
And and something to point out also, his average daily gain is 40,000. The day after he made his apology video, he got 80,000. So that doubled after he made his apology video. Yeah. He only gained 16,000.
Let's not get ahead of it ourselves on this. We will get into that though. We haven't even mentioned the video yet, but you're right. You're right.
Video now. I think it's enough background.
Yeah, so basically, here's this guy, and he's doing really well. There's a lot of criticism for him, though. So, to kind of start moving into the topic,
he's definitely part of the YouTube. Yeah.
With YouTube, and this is something I really want to actually get into in this podcast in general, is that I'm noticing, and I don't get credit for this phrase because I didn't come up with it, but attention with social media is starting to become the new currency. People care a lot less about money, and they care more about followers and comments and likes. And on YouTube, that's definitely the way things work. And it's hard for even someone like me to not get kind of wrapped up in that. And what both Logan Paul and Jake Paul both do is they will do whatever it takes to get more attention and more views. Mm-hmm. So they've done things like views. Yeah, and so did you guys hear about Jake Paul's leaking his own address, which caused crowds of hundreds of kids to constantly be in this neighborhood? Mm-hmm. He
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, so this is kind of older news,
right?
Yeah, but this is previous YouTube drama.
Yeah, so before this is when Jake Paul
many feuds.
Yeah. This is when Jake Paul was kind of under a lot of fire because he basically kind of leaked his address and his address got online, and so then all these kids kept coming to his neighborhood, so there was constantly a crowd of 100 people just outside his house all the time. And then he was burning things, he set something on fire in his swimming pool, an empty swimming pool.
Well, he just tried to take the attention away from his brother with his latest video that he put out.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I didn't watch the video, but I saw the...
Oh, there's no point in watching it.
Did you watch it?
No, the whole controversy was around the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah. So anyway, Logan Paul has done certain things that were more questionable over the last year or so. And he's been making a video every single day for over a year and a half now. It's almost a year and a half. And so he went to VidCon and tweeted out, "Hey, got $1,000 here. If you find it, it's hidden somewhere at VidCon. You can have it." So he hid it, and then someone immediately found it, and he was like, "Oh, that's not good." So then he started trying to come up with a way. He kept telling people, "Oh, no one's found it yet. No one's found it," because he wanted a huge crowd of kids to be gathered around this area. So while this is all going on, eventually this giant crowd kind of fills up, and he just runs into the middle of the crowd and records it and made this vlog where it's this big deal where he's everyone's cheering and going nuts, and the music is really inspirational. But the thing about it, though, is at VidCon, you're not supposed to show, the YouTubers aren't supposed to just go out in the open because it's kids, and the kids are going to mob and start running, and people got hurt because of this, 12-year-olds, little kids. And so he fell under a lot of flack for that. So that was his first kind of big, and Nick just posted a picture of it. See that in the chat? Yeah. So that was his first big kind of blunder. And then he was filming with a drone around the Roman Colosseum, which is really illegal. and he mentioned that it was illegal, but he wanted to get it for his video. All that sort of stuff. But anyway, I'm just trying to give like you guys, even if you guys don't know it, that's some context of what's going on. So then, at this point, he released a video. Who wants to take over now? Because I've been talking a lot.
So
Nick, go ahead.
okay. So
The YouTube experts over here.
yeah, right. Well, I post on YouTube too, and Luke, I think you nailed it on the head. With Logan, he embodies what's wrong with YouTube culture, and there's plenty of articles that have come out about this. There's plenty of articles that have come out about this. There's plenty of people that are talking about this. I think they're missing it just a little bit. What's really happening here? I think we'll dive into that a little bit later, but this whole idea of do it for the Vine, do it for the vlog, pushing the boundaries of what's possible to see, what's possible to be done for the internet, this culture around the internet where societal norms don't exist. You're protected by whether it's anonymity. Excuse me, I choked saying that. Anonymity, or
it's a hard word. It's fine.
It is. Yeah, right. I was just like, oh gosh. You're protected. I mean, anonymity. You're making tons of money from this. This is your full-time job. I'm going to do whatever I can to get as many views and as much money as possible because this is what I do.
Right.
And so,
and YouTube does a lot of incentives too because YouTube will reward you if you do videos more often.
Oh,
so
I got a rant about YouTube. Don't worry. That's
actually, so that's interesting because
he also has two. So he has 2 YouTube Red shows as well.
Yep.
YouTube Red, yes, which I think are doing well.
Cash cow.
YouTube Red.
I pay for YouTube Red, but
yeah, same.
I do it for reasons that are beneficial to me. But so I have a YouTube channel. Shayne has a YouTube channel and has done some videos. And then actually Nic also has a YouTube channel, and we'll plug all these channels at the end. So we all kind of understand the idea of like you put a video up and it gets no views. That's so annoying. You're like, I put all this work into this video and no one even watched it. And I know Nic has an even worse story about a video you tried to upload a week ago.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
But so go ahead and keep going, Nic. You were talking about like this is kind of getting pushed into YouTube. People are kind of moving down this road of
this
popularity battles.
Yeah, this isn't the first time that something super controversial, whether it be about death or pedophilia or these are things that have been addressed before.
Do you guys know who Sam Pepper is?
Absolutely. Yes.
He got nuked because of a video.
Go for it, Luke. You can explain it.
I'm trying to remember. There was kind of a movement on YouTube at one point where there's a bunch of very
prank invasion. Prank invasion. That's what it was the prank culture. It was just 2013 to 2015.
If you guys think back to around when most of us were probably still in college, there was a bunch of prank videos that were getting to be popular on YouTube where
and that was partially because of Vine too, because Vine was doing something similar.
The thing is
Logan Paul was a part of that too.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize though is that a lot of these videos are actually staged. Because and the thing that I think a lot of people, myself included, didn't think about was you're watching these prank videos going like, whoa, it looks like the camera's hidden and that reaction looks pretty real and it's, people doing crazy stuff on the internet. But what we didn't think about was the fact that people are doing whatever it takes and people will do whatever it takes. It's just on the internet now. Like in Hollywood, people would sell their soul to be famous. And on YouTube,
which they still do, the Illuminati.
They're doing. Yeah. Well, they're literally doing the same exact thing. So it's like there was one of the person. There's 2 people that we're going to talk about a little bit, and one of them is FouseyTube, and he did a lot of fake social experiment type videos. Where
we should put quotes around social experiment because that is what they say now instead of prank, right? It's so and so experiment. Social Joey Salad.
We're gonna leave a wallet.
That's right.
We're going to walk past these people and drop our wallet and see if they give it back to us.
Yes.
But it's okay.
But it's all fake.
It's
all just a prank, bro. Roman Atwood.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up too.
Roman Atwood did a prank he did a prank. Go ahead.
Luke.
Go ahead. Sorry.
just so like we don't get off topic, we've yet to address the actual video.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
trying to talk
Oh no,
about
I'm going to it.
I just
I'm
want to
going
make
to
sure
it.
we're not like all
I have
YouTube spectrum.
Yeah, I have three points we're going to, and right now it's kind of the history.
Yeah,
So,
this is the
Okay.
culmination. Yeah, there's a history behind this, and you know the
But you're right. We'll move along soon.
when Joey Salads uploads a video, if you don't know who that is, he's another one of these social experiment guys, and he came out recently because he got caught doing a fake prank involving Trump supporters and something like that. I don't recall exactly what it was, but basically it was semi-racist, and so he had to get called out on that. He went on H3 and confessed, like, yeah, it's all fake. So he did, when he uploads a video called Child Abduction Social Experiment, it's okay, right? Because he's showing people like this is something that happens. It's just an experiment. It's all fake. Didn't actually happen. This is just I want to see how people react.
It's so these videos are basically
It's all about reaction.
Well, people are trying to make videos that will make people excited. So if I do a real prank, and nobody gives me the reaction I want, and I film for 6 days in a row, and nobody gives me a good reaction to the prank, all right, well, I've wasted 6 days and I have no video for it. So it's a whole lot easier to say, let's just stage it, let's film it, and let's say it's real, because then we'll get the views. Because this is kind of trailing into it, and we'll move on from this now, into doing what it takes to get the attention. Lying a little bit, kind of leaving something under the table, just staging things in public, doing things people would never do, and doing whatever it takes to get those views. So I do want to move through this. Obviously, Nick and I could talk about a lot of these different things because we know so much about like just these different like there's a lot that has gone into this. But so Logan Paul and Jake Paul have both done this a lot, and I don't want to go into any more detail than that. Other than when you're filming a video every single day, like making a vlog that you're making every single day, you keep trying to think of like, how can I up this to the next level? So he's done videos where he's like, I bought the biggest pumpkin in LA, and he's got this 1,000-pound pumpkin that he's bought. Oh, okay. Next video. We're dropping the pumpkin from 1,000 feet in the air. And then it's really in the video. We're taking 100 pounds of dry ice and dropping it into our pool. Like, these are all these videos that keep coming out one after the other every single day. Right?
If you ask him why he's making these videos or why he's coming up with these ideas, the only response is for the views.
Yes.
For the views.
There's no other reason.
So at this point, once you've done all these crazy things like that, where do you go? What do you do? How do you get the views? How do you one up what you've already done? Now, let's get into the video. Now, Shayne, why don't you talk for a little? Michael or Shayne, either one of you, talk about this video.
This is my first time. I should not be talking so much.
The video in question is that Logan Paul and friends decided to take a trip to I forgot exactly the exact name of it, but it's like the suicide forest, which I believe is in Japan, correct?
It's called Aokigahara. So
yes.
Maybe
if you know who Steve Aoki is, that's how I know how to pronounce that.
That's Steve Aoki. But yeah. Sorry. So this is a place where a lot of people have gone to commit suicide. So Logan Paul decides, what's going to get views. You know what? Let's go to this forest where people kill themselves, and let's try and find a dead body. So that was the intention.
Well, no.
Yeah. So go ahead, Mike. You tell him.
Well, in the beginning of the video, they're like, yo, we're gonna go camp in this haunted forest, and like, it's gonna be crazy. Like, they didn't necessarily say they're gonna try to find a dead body. I'm not defending him. I'm just telling.
Well,
just trying to clarify.
Yes.
So let me ask everyone. Does everyone think that he went in there purposefully to find a suicide victim?
First, let's just talk about what the video is, and then we can talk about our opinions. Let's go.
I'm gonna go through it really quick. So basically, he made a video, and in the video, they find a dead guy who hung himself in the forest. They film it. They blur out the face,
not the body.
So you literally see his purple dead hands. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of talk about it for a second, and then he goes into saying, suicide is a horrible thing. Get help if you need it, to kind of curb the video into this positive, we showed this for a reason type thing. Like, the reason we showed this was because we care about suicide sort of thing. So, so that's what the video is, if anyone doesn't know. So
I'm probably in minority in thinking that okay. Let me.
Yeah. How do we want this conversation?
Let's each give like 5 sentences of our opinion. You can preface it, then say it, and then say something else after that, and that's it. And we'll go on to the next one.
Sounds good. It sounds good.
That way, like you can kind of explain it.
Oh gosh.
I want everyone else to go first before I start speaking.
I want Shayne to go first, and I want to go after Shayne.
Yeah, I want Shayne to go first.
I want Shayne to go first.
Okay. So I did a lot of research on this. Like I watched a lot of people. I watched a lot of people's, I guess, reactions to the whole situation, just for context purposes, and. I mean, I don't know. From what I saw, I didn't watch like the actual full video, but I saw like enough of it to get an idea of what was going on. So I have no issue with someone wanting to make a vlog, do whatever you want to do. You're going to this forest, maybe thinking you might see a dead body, you might not. But then when you actually come across one, I can understand, because personally, I would be shocked as well to have actually seen an actual dead body, right? And so I have no issue with that initial reaction, like where they keep filming the body. Like that's fine, I get it. You're a person, you're in shock. It's cool. But even I didn't have too much of an issue with like the jokes that they were like making and laughing about it, because I got more of a nervous sort of sense. Even though when he said this has never happened to me before,
right? I will say that like when they're laughing, it's like they could have been in shock and just not known what to say, and the cameras.
Yeah, exactly. So that I can give a slide to. What I can't give a slide to is that you, after all that happened, you went home, you have the footage, you sent it to your editor. Your editor edits the video and sends it back to you. I'm assuming you approve your own content before you upload it. So you must have watched the video and then you upload it. And then so that all happens. My issue is that it's his fan base that's the problem. You just uploaded a video to millions of 12 and under kids, because let's be honest, he doesn't have many fans that are older than that demographic. And now they're exposed to, you don't see the entire body, but they're still exposed to this experience of a dead body being in your video that could be traumatizing for a lot of younger minds. So your biggest
issue is
that.
Your biggest issue is the audience that he released the video
to. It's neglect. It's neglect of your audience, not putting that into consideration. You put the views and the shock value ahead of your audience that supports you, that honestly are brainwashed, because they're like, oh, there's nothing, you did nothing wrong, like we support you, even after he's told them himself, don't support my actions. And a lot of other celebrities have come out and said, if we fuck up, don't support us. You can't give us all this leeway just because we're a celebrity. But yet they still do, and I'm like, I wouldn't want my child, and just knowing the fact that I work with a bunch of kids who like Jake Paul and like Logan Paul, like I know they watch these videos.
Do you know any kids that watch the videos? I don't know if you had work.
Well, no, honestly, no, because work's been closed since this video came out because of all the snow. So I haven't even gone to work or anything. But so it's just, I don't know. It's just when that's your demographic, you have a responsibility. I don't want to say necessarily to be a role model, but you have a platform, you have the power to expose kids to a lot of things, and you kind of need to be smart about that. So the fact that you went through this whole process and still thought it was okay to upload the video is my biggest issue is in that. Not the video itself, but the fact that you uploaded it. Like, if you had a different fan base, maybe it wouldn't be that big. I don't think it would be that big of an issue. Like,
so it really is the place and the audience. Okay,
I think so.
Okay.
I thought
Michael.
So I mentioned my opinion earlier, and Shayne was like, "Michael, you're wrong." And I was like, "This is gonna be great." But now Shayne kind of agrees with me. I'm like, "Dang."
Oh no.
Well, like,
Well,
so I'm gonna.
It depends.
I'm gonna say what I was still thinking before, but like, you'd been a good point about the like the kids thing. I didn't think about that, but I don't really think he did anything wrong making this video. Like, I think it wasn't necessarily wise to post it, but like, he went into the video trying to like make a video about a haunted forest. Like any other YouTuber would do that. Also, it's not like something that's like off limits for people to do. Like if like Vsauce did a video on that forest and they went there, you wouldn't care. But I don't think it was necessarily a smart thing. He did go into the forest to make fun of it, but when he saw the dead body, he did get serious and like talk about like, hey, like suicide is not a joke. And like even like in the video, like some other guy was like, hey man, if you guys are feeling this way, talk to your friends. You can even talk to us. Like they were like trying to be serious. And they went back to joking, which was kind of dumb. But like the problem with is this Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
Logan.
Okay, I've never watched one of his YouTube videos before, but I've seen like him on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Person.
But like,
I hate you so much.
No, but honestly, I'm saying Logan Paul's videos are actually pretty solid videos in terms of just how they're put together. But there's a certain amount of cancer involved with them, but they are good videos, and I have to admit that.
Like, yeah, I don't think he's necessarily wrong posting it, but the fact that like he just is a douchebag, it's hard for him to post anything and not come off douchey. Like he was kind of trying to be nice, but then he went back to his douchey self.
No, you couldn't even take him seriously because he's wearing like that minion hat from the Toy Story movie, the green people.
But also, like one thing I want to say too is like I've seen a dead body in real life. When I was in LA, my friends and I walked around this beach and we saw a dead body that was most likely a suicide. It was at the bottom of a cliff where people often committed suicide at. And,
man.
Like in that situation, I felt really weird because I didn't necessarily feel sad seeing the body.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to react.
But it was still a heavy moment. So I made some jokes like in that moment that maybe would not have been appropriate.
But did you take out your smartphone and start recording it?
No, I did not.
Yes, but did you record and edit a video?
Ironically,
World Star.
Well, two things on that. One, funny story. Like ironically, I accidentally took a photo.
Hold up. How in the world did you just say? Speaking of a dead body, funny story. When I saw a dead body.
No. So shut up.
Mike.
So when I was there, we were taking
the new Logan
photos.
Paul. Mike's the new Logan Paul.
We were taking photos in that location before we saw the body. And I took a picture of my friends, and behind him was the body, but we didn't see it at that point because it was like in rocks. But like we know that we saw it, and then like we immediately called the cops. We went up the cliff to the top so we can find them and stuff.
See,
like you guys found it?
Yeah, we called
the cops.
Yeah, we found him. We called
Logan
the cops.
and friends didn't do.
Yeah, they did.
They
That's one of the first things they said was to call the cops.
Yeah, I didn't see that part. Okay.
But like I made a couple jokes. I made like one joke. I wasn't like not like Logan Paul status. But like I understand the weirdness of like.
Now what do you think overall though?
The weirdness of what?
Huh? Well, the weirdness of he's talking about like the weirdness of seeing a dead body.
Seeing a dead body, like
I'm supposed to be entertaining people on the camera right now, but it's a dead body. I don't know. I don't know what to do, and you just kind of like I have things where I'm having a conversation with someone, and as I'm having a conversation, I'm thinking in my head, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you saying this?"
Yeah.
And I'm just rambling. And I can't help it really.
Yeah, I made a joke to my friend.
Where like as it's happening, it's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Why am I doing this? And if you're going into that adrenaline of seeing a dead body for the first time, I can see you being like, I don't like the way this feels. I gotta make humor. I gotta make a joke to make this not feel weird.
And like to be fair, like to Paul's discredit, I didn't even joke about the body. I joked about my friends. Like I joked about our reaction to it. Like it wasn't. But it still was kind of tasteless, and like I shouldn't have done it. But at the same time. Like, my friends weren't like, man, Mike's a terrible person. He made a joke right now. Like, they know that, like, oh, it's a weird situation.
Well, you weren't on the internet in front of
that's true.
6 million people.
But at the same time, I understand, like, also, if you get that kind of footage, like, as a filmmaker, you want to put out that footage. Because that's crazy footage that no one's going to see.
That's where I'll go with some of this. What's your overall summary of what you think?
Bottom line, I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think it was necessarily the smartest thing to do. But, like,
really?
I don't think he did anything. I don't think he should be getting as much flack as he is. Like, he's a douchebag. He doesn't do the right thing, but it's fine. Like, it's not fine, but like, he didn't do anything morally wrong.
Point.
It might not have been the smartest thing, but I don't think he should be getting as much crap for it as he's getting.
Mike, I am gonna try and change your mind, my friend.
I want you to. That's what like.
All right. Who should go first? Who should go next? Should it be me or should it be me or should it be Nick?
Well, we need to get this rolling so we can get to the arguing part. So
good.
Yeah, let's get
who should go next?
Someone go. Go Luke. Just go Luke.
Okay, so no, actually, no, I take it back. Nick, go.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna start talking, and then someone tell me when to stop.
All right.
So I've watched the video. So I've watched the video probably too many times. It's on Live Leak still. It's I'm pretty desensitized to this stuff, and I think that's also part of this too. Is a lot of people are desensitized to death on the internet. I mean the subreddit watch people die has 300,000 subscribers.
I never watch like real death videos. Also, just to, like
I can't do that.
I never do those. I watched an edited version where they took out the dead body in this case too.
So I've been unlucky and have seen plenty of videos where people have died online, and including on Reddit, right? This subreddit called Watch People Die. There's plenty of forums out there for gore porn and things like that.
There's a website that literally is just dead bodies. It's called John. I know John would know it. John would know it. No, it's called something like I don't remember. It doesn't matter. All right, keep going, Nick.
So, obviously the idea of death and compassion towards death is removed on the internet. I think Logan Paul he's been doing this for so long, it's hard for him to snap out of internet brain
the YouTube,
versus like reality. I think in this video, at least from what I analyzed from his body language and things like that, there's a brief moment where reality hits him really hard, and he's like, I should turn these cameras off. I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, which you should.
And yes, can we all agree that, maybe
let me tell
Mike
you
disagrees.
my side before I agree with anything.
Okay.
Keep going.
But, the internet is a place where things like compassion and societal norms don't exist, like I said earlier. And so something like this, like if you go to Live Leak and you read the comments, people are cracking jokes like crazy. They're talking about how this isn't even morbid. They're like, this is a joke. This is really why people are upset. Right. And in my mind, I'm like, well, yeah, but on the internet, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And
well,
this isn't
4chan. This is YouTube.
Yes, and that's the difference, right? And so you post this video on YouTube. I think Shayne had a good point here. There's a lot of time between filming something and then the editing portion and then uploading.
There's a lot of time, yeah.
There's a lot of time. And if you watch the video, I've watched it, like I said, watched it too many times. His attitude by the end of the video has completely, his body language, he's out of it. He's trying to keep this acting thing up, but he's completely out of it. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to say. He just keeps talking like, hey, you got to talk to someone, all this stuff. Unfortunately for Logan Paul, there are people, a lot of his fans are trying to say he's trying to bring suicide awareness. He's trying to do this. This is a net good.
But
it's a net.
It's not.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's a net bad. It's a net bad, and let me explain why. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he's not bringing suicide awareness because I don't think like the end part of the video where he's like, suicide, blah 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 blah. I don't think that part would have happened in the video if they didn't find a body. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think they were making the video with the intention of not actually finding one, but when they did, they're like, oh, crap, well, let me spin this way to make it look better. But then in the same video, you're like, oh, I'm not even gonna monetize this video because, it's not gonna make any money, so that's why I'm gonna keep cursing. I'm like, you're acknowledging the fact that you're not gonna monetize your video that includes a guy who committed suicide, and you also talking about suicide prevention.
So really quick, I'm kind of teetering between like letting us discuss and then like not. So like, let's summarize your thoughts really quick, Nick, and then I'll say mine, and we can kind of hash it out. Well, it's a balance because I kind of wanted us to talk about it. But I'm also like, let's hear everyone's opinions and then let's go, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'll sum it up quick. Basically, you don't record dead bodies. Suicide is there's something called copycat suicide, right? It's a huge problem. We went through this when Netflix released 13 Reasons Why. It's the reason why tackling suicide is such a hard thing. Is because it's hard to talk about. It's the reason why people don't want serial killers broadcasted on the news. Right? Because people copy that. And so these are things that you have to think about. Logan Paul dropped out of college. I don't think he's ever heard of a trigger or a safe space. I don't think he understands any of this. I don't think he understands anything about PC culture. I don't think he understands anything about suicide. He barely said anything about Aoki Gahara. There's plenty of information out there. There's a Vice documentary. There's a movie that was made about it, a horror movie. I think he just wanted to get out there and get some views and get his daily vlog out, right? Because this isn't the first time someone's made a video about Aoki Gahara on YouTube or made a vlog about it. But this is the first time that someone actually found something and then filmed it, and that's the problem. You can't film that.
I don't know if that's. I'm not gonna say for all the videos on YouTube that no one has ever filmed it, but I will say this is the first time someone that is okay. He's so huge that it's like it's.
That's fair, Luke. I haven't gone through.
It would be like PewDiePie doing it. It's like this massive YouTuber.
Because I don't know if someone's actually done it or not. I can't crawl through every. I can't call through every video, but you need to realize how bad cyberbullying is. You need to realize how bad teen suicide is, and you need to realize how bad copycat suicide is before you post a video to be when your main audience is between the ages of 12 and 17. Right. Who knows? Who knows? How many people are now more suggestive to suicide as a result of this?
Yeah, exactly. You just exposed them to
okay. So, but that's your overall feeling, right? Is once again like the audience, right?
But I guess I don't want to completely rag on him like 100%. I guess more like 95%.
So you think it was just a lack of knowledge, or like you said, he doesn't know a whole lot about like what's involved with young kids getting exposed to things early, or like the
obviously not.
What was it called? The suicide where people
copycat suicide.
So if he doesn't know about that, and he's like, well, I made the video saying don't commit suicide. Mm-hmm. So your consensus is that he did something bad, and it was in a really bad place. Or he did something bad because of the context of where he put it and the audience. But you think he put it there because he wasn't really educated or knowledgeable about what he was doing?
I am assuming Logan Paul went in there to make a video in Aokigahara Forest. I keep saying it wrong, gosh, because I'm
I'm not, dude. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, I'm not even saying
it. At least you're saying it. He couldn't even.
You're a step ahead of me. I'm calling it suicide forest because I can't say it.
I think he went into that. I think he went in there trying to do something funny, trying to impress his audience, and I think basically he wanted to have. Have his cake and eat it too? I don't actually remember.
Well, let's go to Luke quick, and then we can start.
Okay, so
arguing.
Here's my thoughts. Okay, so coming from, I'm actually writing down things that I want to bring up later. But
you speak.
Okay, so
I've talked too much.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually watched this video before he took it down. I saw it very early on when it was still at like maybe 1 million or 2 million views because
when it was trending.
Well, it wasn't even trending when I saw it. I try to keep up to date on a lot of things with YouTube, and so I'm subscribed to a bunch of different people, and Logan Paul is one of them. And of course, I saw the thumbnail and thought, "What? There's no."
It wasn't the thumbnail.
There's no. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can we just acknowledge that? Can we just acknowledge that?
In the thumbnail,
he definitely edited that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the thumbnail is him making a scared like, "Oh my God" face. And then there's the dead body with the blurred out face in the background hanging from a tree.
And that still didn't click. That
with
wasn't
his
like
unicorn hat.
Yeah, LGM hat from
that didn't trigger it. That was not the trigger for him.
So basically, I saw it pretty early, and I put it on, and I kept thinking, "There's no way this is real. It's going to be some sort of like clickbait, whatever thing." And then as the video was going, then I thought, maybe this is fake. Is this real? And I was looking at it, and he shows the dead purple hands of the guy, and I was like, I can't believe this is actually real. Now, for me, I was kind of in the midst of things. Like I was in Virginia when I saw this, and it was January 1st, I think, when he released it. So I saw it shortly before I went to the airport. Okay, so
Happy New Year.
I saw it, really.
Yeah,
2018.
I was the worst person in 2018.
So I watched the video, and it didn't hit me quite as hard because I kind of saw it, and I'm used to everyone trying to take things to the next level that I didn't really. I was like,
value, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was like, ooh, this is kind of. I don't know if he should have been filming that, and then kind of like, I don't know if he should have been making those jokes because that's really, it's teetering on an edge of like. Okay, so I do know though. So I have a defense and a defense for him and criticism for him. So the defense I have for him is coming from YouTube. I know that I am always thinking about, and I do this with the podcast too. What can I do? What can we talk about? How can I make this? How can I get people to watch this? And when you're doing things every single day and you keep topping it, you're going to keep thinking, how can I top this next video? What can we do? And there's a lot of people that have stopped daily vlogging and doing these big videos because it makes you miserable, apparently. We've got PewDiePie, we've got Boyfriend versus Girlfriend, and we even have Casey Neistat. All of them have been kind of like, I can't keep doing this daily vlogging stuff because it's ruining my life. Because
it's hard, yeah.
Picking up the camera every single day thinking, what am I going to do? I don't want my audience to think I'm boring. I got to find a way to entertain them. I got to take this to the next level. I need to improve. And if you think about it, imagine, and you people who don't edit videos don't realize how much work it actually is. Like each one of my, I've said this before, that each one of my videos probably takes me between 3 and 15 hours. It's a lot of work. And I'm not uploading videos every single day that are 15 minutes long. So to give him some credit, I can imagine like getting into this cycle of thinking so much so that I don't even see what's right in front of me. The fact that it's like, well, I'm just so used to trying to get people to watch my videos that I'm not even thinking about the ethics of what I'm doing. Now, thankfully, I've never gotten to that level, but I almost feel bad for him, kind of like when you watch somebody mess up on stage, where you're like, they should have memorized what they were going to say a little bit more. But the other side of me goes, but I can see myself doing something like that. I feel bad for him because if I would have done something similar in that situation. Now, I don't think I actually would have done this because I know that when I was in LA, I actually witnessed a car crash when I was walking across the street, and the car like swerved over, hit another car, spun out, and then everybody who was watching eventually ran over to the car and pulled the guy out of the car and pulled him to like the side of the road because the car was like starting to smoke, and then the car caught on fire. Like I literally saw and watched all this happen over like 30 minutes. And there was a little thought in the back of my head thinking the potential of a video where I see a car catch on fire. The thumbnail, the title, what
that
people
would be
would
an
think.
interesting video.
But I obviously didn't film it because I thought this just feels wrong to be trying to gain out of somebody's. Because the guy might have died. I don't even know. I don't even know if he lived because they took him to the hospital and I don't know what happened. But it seems so wrong to try and take this tragedy and turn it into something that I profit off of, even if that profit is views. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I guess I'm talking a little bit more. With this video, I can see where he was going with it. Now here's where the criticism is though. He said, I'm not gonna monetize this video. He's making so much money that it doesn't really matter. And he doesn't need to monetize the video. He's going to get clicks. He's going to get views. That is a type of currency in a way. So there's like
his first
and he still technically plugged his merch. Like he still talked about Maverick and things like that.
Before he saw the body, he did. There's a certain amount where it's like this video came out in a day, and like videos take so long that I can see there being mistakes in it. I'm conflicted on some of it because it's like I get that it was rushed. But I also see it as like, I don't trust his intentions. I think that the suicide prevention was kind of a cover-up to be like,
it was.
All right, hold up. How can I still get this video up?
Thank you.
But get out of people criticizing it. That's the vibe I'm getting. So let's
go into talking about it now. You can keep going with what you're saying now.
That's it. I'll bring up more things as we talk.
Is the floor open for discussion?
I think we all want to say something.
Let's go.
Okay, so I would like to point out in his first apology, the one he posted on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, he said, I didn't do this for views. I get views.
Yes. That is his quote, yeah.
Right.
And then...
Right. He's trying to... Yeah, he's...
Why is your apology... I don't know.
Right.
My biggest issue, like, I don't even really care about the video, right? Like, the video is whatever. You shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. But my biggest thing comes with his apologies because, the first one was pretty, like a self-centered apology.
Yeah, the first one was
you made it
really bad.
about yourself.
You did 2 apologies? I didn't
Yes,
watch
he
it.
did.
He wrote one, and then he did a very robotic, soulless, the most unhuman apology video I have ever seen in my entire life.
I think he was.
I said, what
he
is
was
this?
acting. I think he was definitely acting.
was.
In the second video.
So
And it was so bad. I have no remorse
yeah.
for you, like, whatsoever. Like, and then I think, and two, which leads into a bigger topic, which I kind of have a side story about this that, like, relates to real life, but I think Logan Paul, at least in that video, the apology video, was showing me a lot of, like, sociopathic,
You said the word I was looking
traits?
for, so I'm glad you said it.
what? Sociopath?
Sociopath. Yes.
He
absolutely.
is, yes. I've been saying that the last couple days, and I honestly think it is because I'm like, I don't think
Does
he really
who
sees...
here thinks he's a sociopath?
I do.
Well, I don't know him enough, but like I have this theory I've said a long time. Like celebrities, really attractive people, and people with social disorders all get treated the same
Or
because they either get
narcissist,
treated
one or the other.
extremely like everyone lets them have what they want, or they coddle them, or they're really mean to them
Yeah.
for no reason. So they never get an actual like feedback from people until they get in a certain context, and then they don't know what to do with it, right?
Right.
Like a really attractive person, there's like a really cute girl. She just gets free stuff. No one really gets mad at her. Girls hate her for like how pretty she is. So like she never really gets actual responses. A special person, like they make a joke, people either like over laugh to compensate for them not being funny, or they like make fun of them. And celebrities, they get whatever they want because they're celebrities. So he definitely
That's an
probably
interesting
has
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a social
I do
disorder.
think some of that.
based
Well,
on that.
and I guess a social disorder could be considered like this is the life you live in, and you're socially adjusting to the way
He
it
has-
is.
he has
but it's
an-
a social irregular behavior.
He has an
compare.
unrealistic feedback loop, where
I think that's
what he-
true. I
what he
actually do
puts
think
out-
that's true.
Yeah.
does not
I
directly
agree.
relate to what he gets back because there's so many other factors.
I agree to that. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
Because I don't think he's a sociopath.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
it's,
he
like,
has-
Well,
crazy,
no.
but, like I think
no.
the feedback he gets is not consistent with reality.
I don't think he's a sociopath like by himself. I think a lot of it has to do, like what you said before, with how YouTube like works. Getting into your head
How
that I have to
often
make-
have any of you guys done something where you're thinking a certain way for an entire year and a half, and then all of a sudden you find out that the way you're thinking doesn't socially work?
Yeah,
No,
but,
most
I
of us
did- that was
haven't.
dumb.
Haven't really had that, I don't think.
I've-
But I mean, like, to that extreme where every single day you're trying to think of how to do a good video, and then after 400 plus videos, you just don't even. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to defend him. I just want to say I think I know how this happened.
But you feel
just
sorry
to be
for him,
honest, Well, just to be honest, I've actually been called a sociopath, like in a very serious context, by many of my friends, like in the past. I felt like I've gotten better though, but because
I've never
I
thought
was
you were a sociopath, by the way, Shayne. Just FYI.
Well, thank you. I never
all
did
makes
either
sense now,
until I really like sat back and thought about it, and I was like, well, I guess I can kind of see how you guys take that approach. But I used to be very I don't want to say desensitized, but I used to very much like not necessarily care about. Not that I didn't care about other people's feelings and like emotions. It's just I didn't see I didn't see how an action that I was doing could be such a big deal to someone else. Like I couldn't see how what I was doing affected someone so much that they could be like upset or angry, and I would just kind of shrug it off like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. So the way you're feeling doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
pretty
was like,
social
or
justice,
so it's not.
actually.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me, so it's not valid.
yeah. You
in
just,
in
you
terms
can't
of like, I don't
understand-
know why you're like reacting this way. And what I think relating to Logan Paul is the fact that you could upload this video and not realize who's actually going to be watching this video, and like the amount of impact and influence that it's going to have, and then
Right.
for you to
Yeah.
then come back
I
and
didn't think
apologize
about-
and make it all about yourself really confuses me. I'm like, this isn't really about you.
I didn't
like,
think about
at
the
all. Like,
audience until you mentioned that,
Yeah.
Shayne. That's a really good point.
Well,
Like,
and there's actually something else too. Like I was thinking more about the respect of the dead body, because
well,
when you think
that
about
too.
it, like think about this. This is the example I used to somebody earlier. There's something more deserving of respect when you've got a dead body versus a live person, because a dead body can't necessarily defend itself. A dead body used to be a person. It's someone who lived a life, and now their life is over. And it's even more serious when it's someone who's committed suicide, because it's like this person was very, very upset and in a horrible place right before they died. So it's like the last moment this person was on Earth, they were miserable, right? So there's kind of like this overbearing spiritual sort of humane side of this dead body being there.
Yeah.
And so if I spit on a person, a live person, that's pretty like, oh, that's kind of disrespectful, a little scummy. You spit on the person. Come on. What are you, an animal? Now, imagine if I spat on a dead body, how much worse that is. And so with this sort of thing where it's like, it's kind of disrespectful, especially in Japan, if you film somebody without getting their permission. And now he's filming someone who's dead from Japan who obviously didn't give him permission. The person was in a horrible place. It's just such a... I can really see the impact of why people would be so offended about how disrespectful they were around this body just by filming so much of it.
Right.
Yeah, to comment on that too, just because that was a big part of it for me as well. And a lot of people also said is the fact that, or like what you said, Luke, the person had killed himself. They were clearly in a terrible place before. And usually when people commit suicide, they don't tell people or they don't want people to know. But that's not like the main point. The point is that you were okay with filming this person. You like took the humanity out of that person. Like you had no regard for the fact that that person had a life and they were like a human being who like had feelings, and maybe, their dying wish wasn't to be exposed on the internet, to billions or millions of people. Right. The fact that you didn't care about that because you cared more about your content and your views over a person's life is like, wow, that really like says a lot about your character. And one more thing, though,
to go on to the flip side of this, and I'm going to try and stop talking because I know I'm talking a lot, but on the flip side of that argument, I can also see it being like, oh, but if we don't show the body, people are going to say it's fake. And if people say it's fake, then I'm going to get ridiculed all over the internet because everyone thinks I pretended to find a dead body. So we have to show it. But how much do we show? And then it's like, okay, well, let's not put it in the thumbnail. But if we don't put it in the thumbnail, then no one's going to watch the video.
Who's going to watch the video?
And so like the tragic part of this is me seeing this going like, if he wanted to get the views, like I think his priorities were out of whack, but it's like if he was wanting to get the views, he had to do what he did. But the problem is I think he put the views above ethics and morals and it was almost like a selfish kind of act.
I think that they should have stopped. I mean, record or not record, but they shouldn't have used the footage of their first response to like the body. They should have like let them have the human experience.
Oh, that was fake. Get through that was so staged, though. I don't think they actually recorded them seeing the body. That seemed fake to me.
Which part?
Where they were like, "Dude, I think that's a dead body." No, I'm serious. I think that was fake.
Fake or not. That's very like. I think that I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say distasteful, but I feel like that part of I think the video would have been. I don't even want to use the word better, but it would have been better.
It's funny to try to use the word like that's bad taste for this, because it's definitely more than bad taste. Yeah. It's like that wasn't a tasteful amount of dead body. A little bit,
It's just like I don't know. Like I don't know myself. I wouldn't have recorded the dead body. Like I just wouldn't have done it. I just don't see.
But it's the progression. Here's the thing: it's like it's so weird because it's like they're clashing filmmaking with real life, because it's like. Well, seeing the dead body is part of the story of what happens in that video.
It's his daily life now. It's his vlog. I mean, he even says, "Is like I'm trying to show every aspect of my life to the public," which is unhealthy, right? But also,
it is unhealthy. We don't need that.
His reaction was part of that, and that's where his brain was.
That's the video. So that's like what the video's about. And like,
like these videos of
which I understand. Which is why I said it. I'm okay with you filming it. I just wouldn't have used the footage in the actual finished product for the video.
Like,
but then everyone would have said, "Oh, you didn't actually see a dead body. You made that
up." Yes, but I think that would have been a better response than what has come now.
But that probably would have hurt his. Well, I mean, no. Well, I'm saying it's always 2020.
No, his reputation is shit now. So
hindsight is always 2020, where it's like, obviously if he knew, but if I was going to release a video and I just told the camera, yeah, we saw a dead body, every single person on YouTube and on the internet would be like, he's lying.
Yeah,
because
they'd be like, he's just trying to get views.
Yeah, but, which he was, but you know.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the whole point. Everyone's trying to get views. You're trying to get views. We're trying to get listens.
I feel like that one is, you know, you expose yourself a little too much. Like, oh, they don't think I'm actually gonna do this. Well, here, I actually did it. Like,
okay,
wow,
so
man, we
Michael
didn't actually want you to do it.
Yes. So Shayne and I obviously have a lot of opinions on this. Michael and Nick, I'm going to ask you guys.
I can go for days.
I know. So can I. Here's what's something I want to ask you. Do you think that they intended or hoped to find a dead body when they went in there?
I don't think they went in there looking for a dead body, but like obviously they knew it was a possibility. I mean, they were going to make a video about a place that's like a known spot for committing suicides. Like, I don't think they were even surprised that they found a dead body. Like, I wouldn't.
Do you think that they went in there? Oh, I'll tell you what I think, and I'll let you respond.
Something too.
I think they were like, we might find a dead body, and if we do, that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, like, I think that they went in there with like this thought. And this is just my opinion about it. I think that they kind of went in there going like, well, it'll be a good video, but like, I don't know. If we find a dead body,
right,
that's good content. Yeah, and
it wasn't.
Good content, honestly,
which is actually interesting.
Yeah, I think in the back of Logan Paul's mind, he said, "This is not going to stop the vlog at all. This is going to be a part of the vlog if I do find this." I don't think he went in there. I think he went in there with all that camping gear, right? And I'm sure he's seen videos of people going in there before. He copied a lot of people who've done this before. People have brought Ouija boards in there. People have camped there.
Yeah, all the weirdest things.
Well, I just want to talk. Let me just talk about a little bit about the history of this forest. I watched the Vice documentary. There's I think if Logan Paul or anyone who goes in there knew this about the forest, he would have never gone there. So Aokigahara is it's called the suicide forest because it's so isolated. It's it's a place where hundreds of people go and commit suicide, or they reflect on their life because it's so quiet.
Yeah, it's something like 100 people a year, I think. Commit suicide in that forest.
Well, Japan has a suicide problem. They have 25,000 deaths per year through suicide, and that is trending down from 2003. So this is a relatively big deal. This is relatively new. When you walk into the parking lot, there are abandoned cars in the parking lot from people that have died. If you were to pay attention to see it, he would have seen it. It's like, whoa, this is kind of freaky. You walk in, and, he doesn't know Japanese, but he's got a security guard there. Which do we think the security guard was paid? Do we think he's an actor? Or do you think he's real?
Well, I don't know if he's an actor, but he was definitely like a guide.
I'm sure he's a paid security, like an actual.
Just paid security. Okay.
I don't think he was technically a security guard. He was like a guide because he didn't seem very imposing. Anyway.
I had a suspicion
and stuff.
I just had a sneaking suspicion he might have been an actor, but who knows? Anyway.
I mean, if he was, it doesn't change anything.
You never know what's fake in these videos anymore.
Yes, I wouldn't put it past him.
So, when you walk into the forest, walk onto the path, the sign reads in Japanese, "Your life is a precious gift from your parent. Please think about your family, and think about who you're affecting by committing suicide. Here's the suicide prevention hotline." So this is not...
Yeah, it's a pretty serious place.
This is a big deal. You don't just go in there willy-nilly. You go in there either to contemplate suicide or commit suicide.
You know what it's like? I was just thinking about just now, like, what is this? What is something that I can compare this to? And I think it's almost like going into like a Holocaust museum and then filming there and then like trying to make jokes. And it's like, dude, this is just not... This is not the place where you do that sort of thing.
Right.
It's like, well, yeah, but it's my video and stuff and it's good content. It's like, yeah, but there's something inhumane about going to a place this serious and then trying to gain off of it, even if that gain is just views. And I think that the reason I have a problem with him trying to make it about suicide, like about suicide prevention, is I feel like he did that so that he could make the video, not because he was actually trying to prevent. It was one of those things. I don't think he was like, I'm against preventing suicide, but I think it was like,
but that wasn't the intention of the video.
I want to get this video out, but how can I get by with it? Almost like if I was going to make a video about something and I was afraid church people weren't going to like it, And so I was like, well, let me sneak this Bible verse in there, and then they'll let me put it out there.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's what it feels like to me.
We'll get you from Chick-fil-A.
Have your have your cake. You can have your cake and eat it too. I think that's what he was aiming for. And so
I don't know, man. Like,
I think so.
I think that like he definitely retroactively decided to talk about suicide. But I mean, like, dude, he's a person. I definitely think he was like, oh man, like suicide is not a joke. Like, I want you guys to know that we're not joking about killing yourselves. Like, don't kill yourself. It's not just a simple thing. Like, he says that in the video, and I believe him. Like, it seemed pretty sincere.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like
I
that.
believe him too.
I
mean,
believe
don't get me
him,
wrong.
But he's an
it's-
actor. But he's an actor though, and so like, there's a part of me that says I think his intentions might not be that bad, but I do think like that.
No, I think the intentions.
I do think it's a cover up. I do think
The
that
road
he
to
was like-
hell is paved with good intentions.
yeah,
I
that's true.
see. I don't know. Well, I obviously also I don't know like you guys do. I've seen one of his YouTube videos. I've seen a few of his Instagram clips or whatever. But like, I had two thoughts and I kind of forgot them because. But like,
Well,
one,
Mike,
Sorry.
Mike, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Yeah, sure,
So,
ask me.
with the information that I presented about suicide, about the forest, has that at all flipped your opinion about whether or not he did anything wrong?
that reminds me of my thoughts. So first, one, like you guys have kind of convinced me. Like, I see your points now. I'm not like a Luke Paul. What's his name? Logan Paul. Like defender. Like,
You're obviously a huge fan there.
That's actually my. That
not-
actually is my middle name, by the way.
An enthusiast.
Oh really?
Oh,
I don't have
I'm
I don't have a dog in
Not
this fight.
anymore.
I'm not like.
Are you gonna change it now, Luke?
Yeah, Luke, don't admit
I could get
that
the
to the world.
views.
Yeah, put yourself as Luke Paul up there. They'll think you're related. Like I'm
The
not like a
long-lost
hard
brother.
fan for this guy. Like I don't have any reason to support him. I'm not like he can do nothing wrong. I'm not even saying that like what he did was totally not wrong. I think it was unwise. But at the same time, I see your point about the suicide force is a big deal. He should have known that. He had somebody with him who presumably knows Japanese who should have told him. And like he done messed up. He done messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron. But
Well,
at the same time, like
my thing is.
Hey,
too,
hey, I have barely talked. I'm looking at my sound waves right now. This is
Yeah,
like
no,
my
go
third
ahead, go
sound
ahead.
wave
It's true.
for
It's
this recording.
true.
Actually,
ahead.
wait.
My third.
It's my
sound
fifth.
wave.
But so
I'm done.
like I get also from the perspective of this guy, like he's going into this like mythic forest. Like people know what goes on there, but no one really you don't see videos of people walking around the suicide forest.
Yeah.
Like not and it's not also not like he's not making like a serious documentary. He's making like a jackass video of them going like, "Oh, we're going to go skate in like the cemetery," whatever. Like I get that he's not going about it in the most respectful way.
We're gonna skate in a cemetery.
Like, you know, he's not like a serious filmmaker, but at the same time, like
Right.
it's not totally wrong of him to be like, dude, let's make a video going to this crazy forest. Like, people could do that in like haunted, like abandoned houses, cemeteries, stuff. Like, it's not like he was doing a total dick move by going there and filming a video.
I do think that the context of what I've seen from him does skew my opinion a little bit because, and honestly, I have to be careful that I don't let my opinion of his brother kind of affect it because I do think Jake Paul is worse in terms of it, not-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
just
we're
in
not
terms
even
of like
getting to him.
let me just say so like I think Jake Paul is worse and just from what I've seen personality wise like he does seem like behind the scenes I've heard bad things about him.
Well,
He pushes the limit a lot and now Logan Paul's makes a lot of the same mistakes but up till now I've thought Logan Paul was kind of the better brother in a lot of ways. Now the problem though is I keep I'm just finish the point and then I'll be done with it. Basically over the years or over this like year and a half that they've been vlogging I keep seeing them like push the limit to get more views and then push the limit and push the limit and push the limit. And so now that it's finally like, oh, now everyone is really slammed back on him. I'm kind of being like, well, yeah, I mean, you kept walking closer and closer to the edge. And so I don't necessarily give you credit like, oh, he just messed up. It's like, well, yeah,
It's not like
eventually.
It's not like eventually he's gonna be like, dude, let's post a video of a dead body. That's the next step. Like he didn't like
Right.
go out there trying to put a video of a dead body on YouTube.
I don't think he did. I really don't think he expected to find
Yeah,
a dead
like,
body.
He's
I
not
also
like
think
he's
that
definitely a douchebag. Like I can look at him. I can look at him. I
also
know he's a
think that-
douchebag. He's not like
Well,
the
I
most
just
moral person, but I don't think he went in there trying to be that guy and like.
I
post
think
a
he's
dead body
living in an
online.
alternate reality where he's not thinking about some of the things he's doing.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
exactly. He's like a child.
Which is-
You have to really analyze
I
this.
said
and
earlier
be
about, like,
He's 22.
he's got, like-
he's a child.
Social
yeah,
retardation.
he's got the emotional maturity of a 10-year-old, and he's 22 years old. And
Which
that's
is
the
why
thing.
I'm glad that he said that he's taking time off to reflect. I'm like, good, you really do, because
Yeah.
like, you need to get it. You need to refocus on what you're actually trying to do with these videos.
And I guess I do want
That's
to
an adult
say,
decision.
as someone that's screwed up time and time again in so many different ways, whether it's in my marriage or my job, I get it. You messed up. And that's why I liked his apology video. I think that's the best he can do. Not only...
Oh, dude, I don't know. I feel like it was a PR move, though.
It was a PR move.
It was
I don't
Absolutely.
know.
No,
I don't know.
but
No,
Luke-
I think it's one of those things where it's like I'm saying this to not get in trouble, not necessarily because I mean it, but if I sound like
He's
I mean
already in trouble, Luke. He knows
I
that.
know, so he's got to get out of it.
Does it
He's
matter
not-
if he means it though? Like, just in
No,
the grand scheme of
here-
celebrity
okay.
apologies?
No,
like,
no, but I mean,
No,
well,
I think they
in
never
the
really-
grand,
I think they
no,
never
no, in the
really-
grand,
No, it's
in
the
the
best
grand
he
scheme,
can do,
hold on.
though.
In the
It's my
grand
point.
scheme of things, it's like, yeah, he can get away with a fake apology. That doesn't mean I have to believe it. I
No,
don't.
and
I think that his
I
apology.
said the same thing.
He's an actor.
Yes,
and
and
it
that's the
sounded
problem.
like he was acting.
Right.
Yeah, I said that
he
I
has
don't
a
believe his-
problem.
Yeah,
Is
he
what I'm
does. I
saying.
said I don't believe his apology, but the fact that he apologized is good. I don't care for it. I don't believe it, but the fact that he did it is good.
If
better
I
than
was
what he
his,
wrote.
if I was his PR manager, I'd say, yeah, you made the right move here. But
Yeah, that's
just
what I mean.
speaking now, and here's the thing: I don't know him obviously personally, so I don't know. But I just am
He's
saying
not a
the
human
vibes
being,
that
so
I'm
who
getting
cares?
don't. Well, the vibes that I'm getting, I don't trust that apology really. And
I don't. Okay.
I don't know how to trust it, but I just am saying what I'm feeling.
Well, I mean, Luke, here's
Next
the thing.
video, dead body director's cut.
I wish
Extended
I
version.
could. Oh man, I wish I could see the entire day without any cuts. Like I want to know what they said
Yeah.
when the camera was off. Did they
I would-
talk about it?
Yeah, I'd kill for that video. Yeah, me too.
Maybe it could literally be them saying this is perfect, or
That
it
was
could be
a-
them
I'm
saying
sure
like
if
we
you
can't
start-
film this.
I
I
mean,
wish
I'm
I
I'm
could
sure if
see
you
that.
sign up,
So-
if you sign up for the Patreon, I'm pretty sure you can see those clips.
So
Get
Luke,
some
I mean,
merch, and then
Luke, here's the thing. I agree with you. I agree with you about his apology. I agree it was fake. I agree it was a PR move. I agree that he wrote that whole thing out with, a writer
read it.
or something and read it. Yes, you could tell he was trying to remember.
piece of
Here's the
paper.
thing.
I mean, also,
I've watched.
if he wrote it
I've
out,
watched,
that doesn't mean he doesn't
Go
mean
ahead.
it either. People write
But
out
he
best man
wrote. He
speeches,
wrote it.
and they
But
mean it.
he wrote it out with someone who understood the subject way more and told him exactly what he needed to say. It's very possible.
I mean, I can't personally say. I'll say this really quick. So I don't know if he made it up or not, 100%. I just think
Right.
he did.
Neither do I.
Like, I
it was
think
a
he's acting.
well-written apology.
But
It's-
I would not go to court and say I 100% no. I just think he was.
Right. It's very possible.
Okay, so but yeah. So what's your point? Like the
Well, it's just very possible. He still has the emotional maturity of a preteen, so he still might not understand what he did wrong, and
he doesn't.
so if he is a sociopath, which I think he has sociopathic tendencies, but if he is a sociopath, he doesn't care about the body, right? These are all my theories that I'm just going to lay out. He's either a sociopath who didn't care about the body, he just wanted the views. Or my second theory, he has the emotional maturity of a 10-year-old and doesn't understand the repercussions, doesn't understand how big of a deal this is. Or third theory, he really thought that this was going to be an effective way to get the word out about suicide.
prevention.
He really thought that.
I think it's a combination of those second two because I know that people have okay. I think people in general need to not give themselves too much credit for what they're capable of because a lot of us are very capable of things we never thought we were capable of, but we took tiny steps towards it. So, for example, a lot of the people that end up doing these horrible, awful things are because they tiptoed over to it. And I think that that's what he did. Just over time, he just kind of, over 460 days, or how many days he was doing these videos, he just kept tiptoeing towards this thing. And I do think that he didn't realize where it had gotten him until he looked back and said, because I do this, until he looked back and thought, whoa, I was way over there,
Yeah.
and now I'm over here.
Yeah, and it's very possible that's he puts out that first apology, and then someone comes up to him and is like, "Snap out of it, dude! Do you not realize what you did?" And he's like, "Holy crap!" And he's like, I need to make this calm, composed apology. No Logan Paul on camera thing. I need to be completely honest.
I don't know, dude. I feel like
but if he, like I said, if he is someone who's a narcissist, sociopath, whatever we want to call him, if he is someone that's so detached from reality, that is the best that he could do. This acting, fake, stoic statue apology.
I mean, I can give him credit.
All
like,
I'm with Nick.
I don't think. Well, the thing is, like, I think that video came from him going, "Oh crap, my career is in trouble. I better fix this, and this is the best way to fix it."
They're not about to PewDiePie me.
Right.
That's right. But he actually had a pretty good apology. See, I like PewDiePie, so yeah,
PewDiePie's much. Yeah, PewDiePie. He's much more sincere. You can tell, and that's the thing. The fact
or he's a much better actor, but I believe his acting.
And see, that's the thing, right? We don't know.
That's why I'm not saying 100% because I don't necessarily know. I'm just.
Don't know,
Well, Luke, so I have a question.
Internet.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Luke, as a filmmaker, if you were like, say, I know you said like you didn't film that car accident, but if you were outside filming something, and a car accident happened, or you saw a dead body, would you immediately turn off the camera and like whoa, I can't film this, or would you like just keep filming? Like, try to think about before hearing about this stuff. Because I think you're a good dude, but I don't think you would stop filming.
I don't know.
I would film it.
It doesn't make you a bad person.
I think I would film it. I think honestly,
possible,
at the moment,
the thing
I
is,
would.
like, there's a difference though between being like, what would I do, and then what would I do in the editing room.
Exactly, and that's the difference.
So
that's
what
we're talking
do?
about.
You would film
because it's
right.
like it's a content versus ethics type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is true. He had like a lot of
time.
time to think about it. Like it goes through a lot of loops.
Well, I would say no. Well, here's the thing. I think he had a lot of more time to think about it than just like filmed it. It's on the internet, but I also think he didn't really have a lot of time to think about it because it's a daily vlog. So he basically had 12 hours.
Okay. I didn't know that.
12 hour. He had 12 hours to think about it.
Yep, and that's again the problem too.
But the still is the fact that you have the video clips, you send them, you have to watch the video back before you post it. If he doesn't watch it,
we don't know his editing.
I know
or his
we don't know
process.
his process.
But like you
if
would,
he doesn't
You're right,
watch
you're
his content before
You
he
think
posts
so? But you're also
that's
not
an
a daily
issue.
vlogger either.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He probably does. I'm just
You're
saying
right,
we
Luke.
don't
No,
know.
you're right. We don't know. You're right, because
we don't.
None of us
I
have
would
put
hope
out
he
450
does.
vlogs.
So my videos are like 10 minutes long at the longest, and they take me 15 hours to edit. Now, if I was filming, and that's not even talking about filming. Can you imagine coming up with the idea, filming it, and then editing it, and then putting it online, and while it's getting put online, you're filming the video for the next day. It's pretty insane.
But the difference is, Luke, he doesn't edit his videos. You edit if you did.
I know, but like
how much
he
more
does a
you
lot
could
more
do
stuff
if
in
you
his
didn't
videos
edit.
than I do in my videos, and he does them daily.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm trying to give him, not necessarily give him credit, but trying to say like
Clarify
daily
the
vlogging
situation.
is incredibly hard. I
know.
I have a goal to
just-
try and do it for like 1 week, and I don't even know if I can do it for 1 week.
very
I
hard.
just think when you're running a business and your brand is your business, you need to approve everything, all your content. So
It's very easy to look at where someone else is sitting and say, "Oh, I would sit differently if I was there."
Well, let me ask.
No,
let me ask
this
a question.
is this is coming from experience from my regular life, things that I've learned in school, things that I've learned just from my jobs, different jobs that I've had. That's just something you need to do. Like you need to approve because that's your name going out. Because at the end of the day, wait, hold on. Because at the end of the day, there were 4 people or 5 people in that Logan Paul video. The only one catching heat is Logan Paul because it's his brand. So that's what I mean. Like you have to.
Well, and he's in the video.
Content.
Yeah. But one thing I just thought of too is like, I'm not. I guess I'm contradicting myself, but like I said, I'm not hard and fast on either side. But like when I found the dead body in California, so we were out there with my band filming, like recording an album. So we filmed a lot of stuff to make a documentary. So that when the album comes out, we can put it out. And I know for a fact that if we had gotten the dead body on video, we would not have put it in there.
Yeah.
Like even if we had filmed, we have pictures of it, but we're not gonna. We didn't plan on posting it. We did the thought never even crossed our mind to post it online.
Yeah.
So. But like at the same time, we weren't there.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm picturing.
We weren't
like,
there to maybe find dead bodies though. We were there to
well,
find
if
look at
you're
cool things.
with what you said, like your your question to me would be like, if I was filming a video, well, no, I filmed the house catch on fire, but it's because I knew no one was hurt. I asked around, and I basically filmed it, and then checked out, and nobody got hurt from it. So then I put it in the video. Now, there could be something saying like, well, ethics. Yeah, but
that is different also. Like, it's not the same. Like,
it's a little less. It's a little less personable than seeing someone who's
definitely
actually
not like
dead.
the same as you recording a dead body. But yeah, that is.
Now, but if I saw,
parallel.
so here's the thing: if I was vlogging and walking down the street, and then a car smashed into another car behind me in frame, and then I looked and everyone was okay, I might leave that in the video.
Yeah.
But it was the fact, like for me, I'm seeing.
Yeah, if no one
the person
died,
was knocked out. The person was knocked out. The car caught on fire. Like, I never knew what happened to the guy, and so it was just like, I'm not even gonna film this because I would just feel selfish taking this moment for me.
Yeah.
You know,
be a millennial.
It's just I if I were to put myself in Logan Paul's shoes, honestly, there's a very good chance I might have done the exact same thing in the mindset of
that's
this
what I'm
is
trying to say. Like, it's not super cut and dry. I don't, like, honestly, like in the situation I was in,
if you were in Logan Paul's
anywhere.
shoes as yourself, you would do the same thing.
If I was Logan Paul, if I am Logan Paul,
if you were doing a daily vlog for 450
if you were Logan
days,
Paul, you would do the same thing because that's what Logan Paul did.
So let me clarify, right?
It's almost like if you were in a world where everyone always gave
that was
exactly
me, I would not do the same
exactly.
Like, you got to think about like we all have different perspectives, and this isn't me justifying what he did. It's me trying to say, like, if you were in a world where your whole life since you were a child you were conditioned to think, if I don't like someone, I can just point to him and point to my little bodyguards and they'll murder him for me. And that's what you grew up thinking. Can you imagine how warped your mind would be? And like,
yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for the fact that people are ending up in this situation where they have these giant crowds of people that all love them. And then, like Michael said, they don't have any real friendships or real people that they know to say, it's bring your head back down a notch.
Yeah, it's the price of fame. Yeah,
like I said, let me clarify. If I had the brand, if I had the fame, if I had the fans, if I had the support, if I had people constantly just
chanting your name,
chanting my name, I think I would get caught up on that, and it would be hard for me to come back from that. So I'm really glad he's taking a break. I think the guy needs therapy. I think he needs some time alone. I think he needs to talk to people. And I think, honestly, the best thing that he can possibly do is either leave YouTube or come back and really just change it up. Like, completely change everything that he did.
I think, I think the break is going to be, like, very well, because I do think something like daily vlogging, like Luke said, can, like, really start to affect, like, your brain. I
mean, look at
how you sort of
you
start to
might not be able to
operate
find
as
it,
a
but if
human.
you look at like Jesse Wellens, like he had this whole string of videos explaining how daily vlogging for 5 years was like the worst thing he ever did.
Well, yeah,
is that the guy that got divorced?
If you're vlogging your life every day, where does your sanity and your humanity?
Where does the vlog
because
and life?
Everything
begin?
is seen.
That's what people talk about. It's like, now I know, like when I was talking about tiptoeing towards stuff, like taking little short steps over time towards something. Yeah. Imagine every time you take one step further in a specific direction, you have 10 million people saying, "That's amazing!" And you have 5 million views every time you take a tiptoe. And you just keep going, and you keep going, and then eventually you go, everyone blows up. And once again, not defending him.
So what you're saying is he didn't do anything wrong.
I'm just saying, it's like, I wish we didn't live in a world where stuff like that could happen to people, because I don't know how I would handle that.
So here's a question I have now, I guess. Like, do you think that his video like actually matters? Like, are people actually hurt by this, or are they just freaking out because he shouldn't have done it? Well, I know, like, you can't know everyone who's affected by it.
In the grand scheme.
Do you think somebody saw it and was like horrified, like, and got super scared, or like someone saw it and wants to commit suicide now? 'Cause I don't really think that's happening.
I don't know. We don't know that, right? But I
can't know that. That's
we know we have. So the funny thing about copycat suicide is the amount of research, that we have on it. We have equations, we have studies that show that this is exactly the case every time. And so we don't know if anyone's been triggered by this, and if someone's more suggestive to suicide now.
So you're more worried about less so the no harm, no foul, and more of like, this happens before, and so even if nobody does anything, this is no
it's
harm,
still
no
a
foul,
problem,
right? Like
right? Yeah. After 13 Reasons Why came out, the spike in how to commit suicide on Google spiked like it's never had before. People were searching it that no one ever.
I think
no
this
one
is
ever
different though, because in movies like that, and when you see videos of kids committing suicide, it's kind of romanticized. Like 13 Reasons Why.
I was saying, didn't they glorify it a little bit?
I haven't seen 13 Reasons Why, but it's very dramatic, right? And like, it's like a very like dramatic and like romantic story. But and then it's like when people like post videos of them committing suicide, like it's usually you see the story and they get so much attention afterwards. But this is some guy finding a random dead guy in the forest. You know,
right.
it's a different kind of thing that we normally see. Like you're right. Like I think what you're saying is right. That when they have videos about like suicide or like suicidal characters or like people committing suicide that kids know and like they have background on, that I could totally see being the case. But I think in this case it's a little bit different because it's some random guy, some other random guy just found him in the woods. It's not romanticized in the video. Like they definitely don't
right
try to act like it's funny.
At least
suicide
like
is funny.
they're not glorifying it. Like
they don't
Right,
even joke about
right.
the suicide itself. Like that's something else. Like okay, they weren't being that bad. They weren't like
Right.
like oh that guy died, haha. Like they were just like
if I was
at
on
the situation.
stage, there's a weird line for me because I know that like I don't tend to hold people to this like you should always know everyone who's watching you, and you should always think about what they're because like with this podcast, even this episode,
No, you should.
I was trying to think through it, and I was like, this is we just talk about things. We talk about things that are going on. That's it, right? And so, what am I responsible for? What should I think about? Who's listening? And it's like, I don't know. The podcast is listed as explicit. I made a choice to do that. I checked a box to say this is not for kids, right? So if you go on iTunes, it literally says explicit. And I made a choice to do that, and so now it's like, if parents are letting kids listen to this podcast,
that's their choice,
and they don't like what we're saying or what we're exposing their kids to. I consider that on them. You know, it's like, why are your kids able to access this section of iTunes?
That's another problem too. The thing with suicide.
Let me just finish real quick. So, but basically with Logan Paul, the difference is that like, I think that he knows what his demographic is, and I think he panders to that demographic a lot. And so and it's kids, it's children, it's the. You really think he's trying to market to me with his Maverick merch? No, it's 12-year-olds.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about suicide that makes it so not just horrible but also confusing is that the more you talk about it, the worse it is. And so going back to what Mike was saying, even if he didn't romanticize it, if you put yourself in the mind of someone who is thinking about suicide or who wants to commit suicide or has numbed to the idea and has already accepted it, showing that suicide is an imitative act. Like it's psychologically, it triggers in your brain like, yep, this is what I want to do exactly. You're already past that point. So even showing that thing, you know, even showing the body triggers that for some people.
Here's the difference.
And that's the problem.
Like, I'm trying to figure out ways to connect it to other things, and here's the way I see it. If a movie was on TV and the parents let their kids watch TV 14 or TV mature or whatever it is on TV, and all of a sudden there's a dead person or there was a graphic sex scene or violence, it's on the parents. Why are you letting your kids have access to a TV that has that sort of
I was just about to ask that.
Now,
do you think,
however, what would you do if Sesame Street all of a sudden had a guy hanging from a tree? You'd be like, wait a second. Okay, hold on, Sesame Street. You can't. What are you doing? And that's kind of what I'm getting from this, from Logan Paul's videos, because he caters it to younger kids for so much, and to all of a sudden be like throwing this very graphic. This is something I know. I mean, you didn't even watch it, Michael. You didn't even watch the dead body part, because it's just something that a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to see this. And this
I don't want
something
I don't want myself to get desensitized to it, so I never watch those kind of videos.
Yeah, because there's a
Right.
big difference between seeing like a dead body in a movie or a TV show, and then a real like dead body on a vlog or something.
There's a very big difference. Absolutely.
But like, wait, going back to the marketing thing, the only videos I've seen of Logan Paul had like a very like obvious sexual references. Like it, I never like I didn't think his videos were for kids at all.
Well, his
The one
Vines
video I
maybe
found,
not
it's
so
all-
much.
The only video I remember is like he had superpowers and he like it's like yeah super speed and he has sex with this girl and finishes in like 3 seconds. And he's like yeah I'm awesome. Like I didn't think that was a kid video. So I'm
yeah.
Well,
I
that
don't
was
know,
his like his
apparently
Vine.
it is
That was like his
because my
Instagram
nine-
and Vine life.
Yeah.
That was
And
a
My
Vine-
9-year-olds
Yeah,
talk
but,
about
like-
sex.
Yeah, and so the average
He's not a
person
kid
who watches person that
like-
watches porn now is at the age of 10. Like this is and when I was going
Right,
through this and
but, like-
researching this,
That's
I was
does he
I was
does he actually market his stuff to kids or kids just happen to watch it and they're just
No,
happen
Well,
to be the biggest group?
I think he
he
does
knows
market. His
well, he knows
so
what his
his
audience is.
So so there's his Vines, which are gone, and there's Instagram, which I think is still around. But like his YouTube channel, where he put this video, I do think it's overwhelmingly marketed to attract a certain age of kids. 12.
I think
Wearing a unicorn.
I don't think any of us have any desire to be a part of the Low Gang. I think that's mostly
No, I have
that's
no
mostly
desire
teenagers.
to be a part of the Low Gang, the Jake Paulers, Team 10. I have no desire.
It's very well possible that he may have started out his vlog Vine career for everyone, and then it just so happened that 12 through 17 was giving him the most money, and so now it's very obvious that he caters to that
Okay,
audience.
that does change things a little bit.
Yeah, I
in
think
my
some of the like I said, I think the context of some of the other videos changes it. And this is teetering a weird line where I tend to think like for me personally, it's like I want to make whatever video I want to make because it's my video.
Yeah,
I'm not making this video for this person or this
and it's
person
not,
or
and
these
it's
people.
not your responsibility
It's
to like
my-
protect everybody from your content.
Yeah, it's my
No, it's
video.
fair,
If I want
yes.
someone to get shot in my video, it's my video.
Right.
But I guess the problem is it's kind of different. It's kind of different if I say, "Hey, let's get all these kids to watch my videos as a series," and at the very end we kill Elmo by hanging him off of a tree. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
it's
Which-
really kind of like you're leading them down this path, and then 180ing them. I don't know. It's kind of like a responsibility versus.
It is. Which
I don't
is
know.
my, which,
I think he
which
does.
Some of these
I
words
think-
I like never say these words, so it's weird.
I think
No,
I
it's
think
fine, which
I think
is why-
Shane's right though. Shane's right. He has a responsibility to his younger viewers. He shouldn't be.
Well,
showing
he
that
has
to
a
his younger
responsibility
viewers.
because he's basically
Yeah, my main-
marketed to them.
yeah,
He has
that's why my main
deliberately
point.
tried to get younger kids to watch his videos.
Yeah, that's why my main point has been I don't care about the video. The video's whatever. You shouldn't have. I don't think you should have made it, but it's the fact you posted the video.
Mm-hmm.
That was my because it's like you just completely ignored your entire fan base and didn't think
Right.
about them. You just thought about you put your content first, which to what Luke said as a creator, which is fine and that's something you should do. But when you have an audience that big, you have to. That has to be a constant thought
Well, and I
There's-
think that
yeah.
like with him,
in terms of
you-
business perspective wise.
you can see it with Logan Paul in a lot of his videos. The applause is like, what's the opposite of kryptonite? Like with Superman, what's something that would make someone like it ramps him up? You can see like once the camera
5
turns
hour
on.
energy.
Yeah, well,
Red Bull.
it's like an
Red Bull.
adrenaline rush or like an
energy
encouragement. So like when people start applauding him, or when the camera comes on, you can see him ramp up, and like
Yeah,
it's
that's
almost
both of
like what's a good example?
You know how
it's-
easy it is to be.
But so like I just see him and like he's doing the same thing with his videos that he does in real life, where he's getting the applause and you can see his eyes kind of light up, and then he gets more applause and he'll keep pushing the limit because he's like more applause, more applause, more
Right.
applause, and then he never thinks about wait, should I do this? Well, I know if I do this, I'll get applause.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, go ahead, Lou. Sorry.
I think it's kind of like redding out. It's like he's not even paying attention to. Is this going to hurt somebody? Is this going to break the rules? Is this a bad idea? No, but I know it will get views, and that's as far as he thinks about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about probably what might honestly even be a bigger problem than Logan Paul, and it's YouTube in general. YouTube
I love YouTube.
I know.
Well,
I do too.
Well, except for okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when I was doing research on this, I learned a few things about this whole debacle and how it happened. First off, when the video first came out, it had 655,000 likes and 17 dislikes. Okay, there was no outrage about this. The Logan Paul's fans literally did not care. It took, let's see, 12 hours in, it was on number 10 on trending.
Until it started trending.
Until it started trending, and then we started seeing some outrage. We started seeing the like to dislike ratio go away. YouTube saw the video and did not pull it. They saw this video and they did not pull it.
That's why
they
I watched the video.
are encouraging him.
Well,
here's
the thing. No, the thing. One of the contexts, and this is partially for you, Michael, because I know that you haven't probably know a little less about YouTube than the rest of us are, because we all done YouTube a little bit, but like YouTube has YouTube guidelines, and they have been really kicking people in the balls about them, and so like a lot of channels have been like they have one F word in them, and then all of a sudden demonetized. They have
anything. It's like anything.
Everyone's getting demonetized right and left. And
feels good.
Some of the YouTube guidelines are your video will get you'll get striked against, or your video will get pulled down if you have graphic violence, disturbing or disgusting video footage, violate copyright laws, or reveal other person's personal information. And those are only some of them. But those first two are pretty
they definitely
I would say kind of nailed those on the head. And the fact that his video hit trending, which a lot of people are theorizing is not an automated computer system.
On trending. It's not.
Did it hit number one?
It hit number one, yeah, when I watched it. When I saw it.
So you think that trending is not an automated system?
Oh, there's a lot of theories that it isn't. Because it's like there's videos that have no views, no likes, and they're Jimmy Fallon, and somehow they're number one.
Right, exactly. So, I don't think this is the end of this. I think Logan Paul's going to come back. Like I said, I don't think he's going to leave YouTube, but it's just like Logan Paul's going to come back. He's going to keep doing what he's doing. We're going to see more extreme videos, and YouTube is going to keep encouraging this. They had their chance. Logan Paul pulled the video, not YouTube. They had their chance to prove that they actually respect their guidelines and they don't care about money. They totally just want the money.
They care about money.
Well, wait, the video wasn't monetized though from the beginning, right?
Or excuse me, they care about views. Sorry.
Yes, but
and
so
here's the thing. Like even though it's not monetized,
so a lot of people could see it.
Logan Paul's video is getting people on YouTube watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that
YouTube
he's making money or not.
Highly rewards
it really doesn't
watch
matter.
time. So
it really
that's one of the
matter,
reasons that like I try to hit a certain number with my the time code on my videos, is because YouTube will reward you heavily if you can get a video to 10 minutes long.
Yeah, there is
more money, and so that's why you see so many long videos. But they really want people on YouTube watching video after video after video. And so even though he's not monetized, YouTube is profiting off of this video.
Absolutely,
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Every page click, it's really disgusting when you really think about it, because we can rag on Logan Paul, but he's a 22-year-old.
It's a business. I get why they're doing
issue.
it.
Yeah.
But it's like the fact that
there's an issue there.
They demonetize PewDiePie right and left, and they keep like trying to kill his channel. And like I like his content, but they keep trying to attack some of these channels that I like, and yet they're letting Logan Paul get away with this stuff.
Yeah,
that's the hypocrisy of it that I don't like, not necessarily the system.
Here's what's even better. What's even better now. So Logan Paul took down the video, right? Every response video that's been made that includes anything regarding the Logan Paul video has either been demonetized or has been taken down.
Wow.
Because of YouTube guidelines.
If they're taking videos down,
there's someone. Yes. So now
that's garbage.
So here's the thing. We know now there's an invisible hand somewhere saying yes, no, on certain videos, on certain channels, on certain
YouTube
people.
is probably doing damage control.
Yeah,
it's too late. It's too late now. But like,
somehow,
I agree.
Either someone was being nefarious, or they messed up and somehow missed it.
Yeah, and we have to realize the company's run by people too. Like, it's not like they don't have agendas. They don't have their own biases here. They want Logan Paul to do well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, this is bad. This does not look good on the company. You know, we've experienced Adpocalypse, 1, 2. This is like Adpocalypse 3.
Don't have
three,
a third. No.
and it's back in full force.
I'm so tired
because
of my videos getting hurt because of this.
I know. No, dude. I mean, as content creators, I mean, Luke, you and I, we like YouTube. We want this to succeed. There were surveys done on teenagers saying that YouTube is the most popular thing in their lives, and there's no plans on them ending.
Yeah.
I mean, PewDiePie's average age, he's been around forever, and the average age of his videos are people in their 20s now, because he's evolved as a creator. He's been around for so long. YouTube is the future, and I am just so disappointed that something that, you know, it's the second most popular site besides Google, something like that I feel like YouTube can be so much better is being, it's just it really looks poor as far as ethics go. It really looks poor on a business end. It just really looks like YouTube has no idea what it's doing.
It is a company.
Exactly.
It's allowed to make its own decisions. I get that, but it's like, can we just be fair at least? Like, if we're gonna demonetize videos that do stuff, tell us what you're gonna do, and I don't know. If they're hurting creators that I like and letting other ones slide. And that's what bothers me. So we got to wrap this up, you guys. This podcast is going way longer than any other podcast we've done.
That's good, though.
Conversation, though.
But in summary, what is the summary? What is the summary here?
Screw YouTube.
I think honestly that's it, right? It's like, as much as we want to rag on Logan Paul,
but I love YouTube.
It's every
but it's
day,
just like,
bro.
YouTube, stop messing yourself up.
Stop encouraging this. Stop.
I think bottom
Honestly,
line,
it's social media as a whole, but definitely YouTube.
Yeah, internet.
I think bottom
Get rid of
line,
the
Logan
internet.
Paul made a bad decision, and YouTube did not handle it correctly.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was poor judgment, and I can understand sort of the why it happened. I still think that it's very wrong.
Poor judgment and ill timing.
And I think that he tiptoed over to it over time, and he should have seen the flags, and this is where you end up when you're not careful.
Yeah.
So
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I would say everyone likes a comeback story, Logan. So
I just wanted to say real quick, if you are someone watching this and you know, are thinking about suicide, contemplating something in your brain has been triggered by this, please talk to someone, whether it's your parents, a professional, a friend. Talk to anyone.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Just
Google it.
have a
The
conversation.
suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-8255.
Thank you.
Like, if you have no one to talk to, talk to them.
Conversation.
Yeah, because we all know that this is kind of a serious topic. It's much more serious. It's much more sensitive than I think any of the topics we've talked about before.
It definitely
and
is.
part of the reason that we do talk about this is to address what went wrong here. Why did this happen? What's wrong about it? What's understandable about it? And what's the process of kind of going through this? And so the purpose of this podcast is to discuss these things. Hopefully we don't have any kids listening to this because
we're all in the same
this
boat.
podcast is not for kids, okay?
A little late for that, Luke.
I
But
tell all my
seriously,
kids to
but
listen
seriously,
to this.
you know, we wish that this I don't know. I don't know what to say about this video. I hope that didn't affect anybody too badly because it's
if you
it's
put
been
it
crazy.
Yeah, no, I got you. Just put something at the beginning of the video, give a warning. You know, this is tough stuff.
Well,
this is tough
I'm
stuff.
talking about Logan Paul's video.
Stop defending these people's
I'm saying that
actions.
I don't know what to say about his video. I hope it didn't affect anybody too much.
These people
gotcha.
don't deserve your support.
I hope so too.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for listening. Plugs. Michael, do you have anything that you'd like to plug that you're doing?
I got speaking of YouTube, I plan on starting a vlog soon.
What?
Very cool.
Welcome to YouTube.
Welcome to cancer, buddy.
I'm sorry, I just started.
Until net neutrality takes it all away.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get in there before it's too late. So yeah, I'm gonna post music stuff. I've been playing music for a long time, and like I've been like recording on like GarageBand and stuff, and I'm now trying to get into like more professional recording, and like I've been inspired by some YouTubers that I know personally, Luke and Shayne,
Very cool.
and some musicians I've seen online who do like videos about like they show like their like creative process and like make videos about like how they record stuff and give some tips. So I'm gonna kind of be posting like videos of me learning about recording and like the things that I learned along the way, trying to make some cool songs. And yeah, so I'll update you guys again when I know more of what's happening. But
What's the channel name gonna be?
I don't know. We'll see.
Coming
Take a
soon.
poll.
Yeah, and
Very
right
cool.
now, follow me on,
Just
follow me
call
on
it
Instagram.
call it Michael Paul.
Michael Paul.
Oh gosh.
Mike Paul.
These jokes are getting brutal, guys.
Follow me on Instagram, Michael Dimas. It's MyKolDimas. And yeah, you can see all my music stuff there. I have an album coming out called Key Centric that I played on for my friend Josh Williams. That info is also on my Instagram if you see that yellow picture with the guy wearing sunglasses. So yeah, and I got more music stuff coming out soon, so look out.
Awesome. Shayne, go ahead.
Yep, check out the Pop Talk podcast where we talk about all things pop music and pop culture centricated. I made that word up, but our Twitter page our Twitter page is @TalkinPop. That is talking without the G, and you can follow my personal Twitter at Mr. McCatty, MrMCCATTY. And I actually just, speaking of YouTube as well, I actually just started, with all my free time, with all the snow days I have, I started writing out scripts for future Pop Talk videos coming
Whoa!
Whoa!
So yeah,
Pop Talk videos.
2018, it's happening. Things are happening. So yeah,
What do you do?
that's my plug.
Awesome. All right, Nick. What
Very
about you?
cool.
What are you doing? Oh, you want to say something? Hold up. What were you gonna say, Michael?
I was just reacting to what Shayne was saying.
Whoa! Okay, Nick, your turn.
Whoa.
My name is I Love Drumming online. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. I do drum covers. As I Love Drumming, no G at the end. I'm planning on doing, hopefully here very soon, I Love Drumming, no G at the end. So I'm planning on doing some electronic drum set stuff. And if I get an electronic drum set, I'll be able to stream on Twitch. So I want to stream some drum covers live on Twitch. So that would be
cool.
And that'll be the same. That'll be the same tag. I Love Drumming, no G at the end, all one word. But yeah, that's it for me.
Nice.
Oh, and Facebook, duh. Facebook,
Duh.
Instagram, YouTube. Don't follow me on Twitter. I just post nonsense political memes. I talk a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. No one
everyone's gonna
cares
try to find
about
you on
that.
Twitter.
No one cares about my Twitter. It's just so bad. It's such a bad Twitter.
Now you see what you did.
Twitter is-
It's over.
Good
It's
reverse
over.
psychology there.
Follow
I'm about
me.
to make a Twitter
follow
just to
me.
follow you.
Follow me at Logan Paul
it.
Vlogs. That's Logan Paul Vlogs.
No! Don't advertise for him. We can't do that. Okay, so
It's
my
funny.
plugs.
We're part of the problem.
That's right. Thanks. Yeah, well, we're just banking off. We're trying.
I know, right?
We're trying to talk. Well, no, this is something that needs to be talked about. That's the way I see it. So that's all that matters. So
You're
you
right,
can
you're right.
follow our podcast at WAI. Oops. Oh well, I messed that up already.
Read it.
It's
No, you didn't.
we're all in the same boat as what's it called when you just have the letters?
Acronym.
Is it an acronym?
Yeah.
It's the acronym. So it's WAITSB podcast. That's where you can tweet us with your questions and your thoughts and your opinions. We actually really want to hear them. So like,
we
if you
do.
have them, tweet at us. We have
Do
a
you have
Twitter
ideas
now.
of stuff to talk about, or like
The podcast has been rebranded, so you can look at us on Facebook. Once again, the same acronym.
we have a pretty-
WAITSB podcast on Facebook.
Is there an
gotta
So
outro?
we
Yeah,
have
we're
a pretty
about-
dope picture.
Wait. Yeah. Yes, we do. We just edited that together.
And it's a
Okay,
pretty
my
cool
my
name,
plugs.
so-
You can follow me on YouTube at Luke Roxwell Vlogs. I'm about to release the final Friendsgiving vlog. Check out
Finally.
I know it took me forever. My Instagram at Luke Roxwold and my Twitter at Luke Roxwold. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support us, leave a review on iTunes and SoundCloud and listen to our other episodes. So yes, thanks everybody.
That's
Outro.
your New Year's resolution is to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, that's a good one. Outro music.
Outro music.